Ah, thank you, gentlemen. Well, it's now my turn to be in the kitchen. And if you've ever wondered how to make a chicken fillet alternative, well, you are at the right place, because these chicken-like fillets are quite firm in texture with a slight smokiness from the paprika and umami flavors from the mushroom. Now, author and chef of The Kind Kitchen, Jason McNamara, joins us in the kitchen with a little bit of a tongue twister to show us how to make this delicious recipe. We're going to be making some Vicken, and this is from his new book, The Kind Kitchen, Vegan Now. Now what? Well, this is, I feel like my tongues are all twisted today, but we are making...
Yeah, or we can just call it kinda chicken.
Kinda chicken, I like that. Okay.
So we're gonna start with some garlic powder, onion powder, straight into the blender. Now, we're using vital wheat gluten, but you can actually also make this process just using good old bread flour, and that's how traditionally it was made in the Asian cultures before. And it's actually something called seitan, not to be confused with the Diablo.
Okay.
But it can be quite satanic on the stomach.
Okay.
if you've got a gluten intolerance, right?
Oh, so maybe stay away from that if that is the case.
Yeah. So we're just adding the stock, we're adding those spices and some grilled mushrooms into the blender. Now just be careful because the stock is hot.
Okay.
Yeah? All right, you can blend that up for me, Zoe.
I'll blend that up
I'm
for
going
you.
to pop some chickpea flour and some nutritional yeast, which is going to give it a cheesy kind of flavor into the vital wheat. You can just blend that for me.
Let me do that. Gone for a high speed.
Yeah. So I've just mixed in some chickpea flour to also push up. Now, vital wheat gluten is high in protein. This is a high protein lean meat, okay? So you can give me that. You can pop this in there for me.
Do you need it blended more? Are you happy with that?
I think that should be okay for this segment. And we're gonna add some oil to this, just some standard canola oil. All right, let's have a look what's going on there.
There we go.
Okay, now.
I needed more of a twist.
Always gotta be so careful with this part because these tend to pop out. Now it's almost like we're making bread, so we're making a dough. And I'll go ahead and knead this because I know it's pretty hot. Okay, so...
Do you need the stock to be hot, or would you prefer it to actually be cold?
Preferably cold, because it starts to activate the gluten, as you can see there. But this is fine for our process now. And the next part of this process, once I've kneaded it into a loaf, we would actually put it in some tin foil and steam it for 40 minutes. And then you end up with something that resembles the kind of fillet there. And then you've got essentially a raw ingredient.
Okay.
And then from there, we come over to what's been barbecued here. Or you can then marinate it in Prego sauce or whatever you want.
So what would be the ideal way to cook this? You mentioned barbecue. So can you throw that on a fire, like at a braai? Or is it best to maybe do it in the pan, pop it in the oven?
Absolutely, fire on a braai. Like with most vegan stuff, this is not like most vegan stuff where it falls apart, okay?
Yeah.
This is held together beautifully because of the gluten. You can actually also see the shreds there.
Look at that, it looks like chicken.
It's bizarre. Anyway, so this is how it starts its life, and that's how it ends in your stomach, right? But we basically from here just needed to steam it up and get it to that point, and then just the world's your oyster, really.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
You can take this with a grater, shred it to make like a chicken mayo sami. So yeah. So I'm just going to finish kneading this, and as I'm going here, you'll start to see the strands of gluten.
And that's what you want?
Yeah, absolutely. So this needs about 10 minutes of kneading, and then just let it rest like that with a board on top of it, and then knead it again for another 10 minutes, and then you're good to go with steaming.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been incredible to get all of these amazing recipes from your cookbook that is available at The Kind Kitchen. Make sure you get your hands on it. The very absolutely incredible. Of course, we do have this recipe available for you. It's on our website. That is expressoshow.com. This was amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Zoe.